Hey gang, it's Deltia from DeltiaSgaming.com. With the holidays right around the corner, I wanted to release a video, top 5 things you can do before the Champion System. Get you ready for the Champion System launch, the PTS coming up in January, then who knows when the release date, but I want you guys to be prepared and kind of show you what I've been doing to get ready for this. So let's get started. For Addons and Performance, the first thing I'd like to do is go inside the game and see what I'm using and what I'm not. And I want to clean up my add-ons once every month or so because a lot of them start falling off and continue not to be updated. If they're not updated, they're probably going to have problems that interfere with your gameplay. So make sure you clear out the ones that people aren't paying attention to anymore. So first things first, hit escape, go to add-ons. In the top box here I have allow out of date add-ons. This is usually, when they say out of date, the ones that I can get rid of and or uninstall, because even if they're installed they still might interfere with your gameplay. So for me it's just best to get rid of the things that I don't use. So Alchemist, it does work sometimes, but it's kind of out of date and there's better add-ons that do work with it. So I'm going to go through these out of date ones and then I'm going to go into my interface and uninstall them. I'm going to show you what that's like now. So we pop out a game and I go to my Minion client, which is the add-on client that installs or uninstalls add-ons. As you can see, the third one down is called Alchemist, the one that was out of date and I don't really use. So we're going to clean up the clutter. All you really need to do is right-click that add-on, Alchemist, and hit the uninstall button. That really removes it from your game and you have to go reload in-game, which I'm going to show you right now. So we just uninstalled Alchemist and went right back in the game, and you notice that it's still appearing that it's on our client. What you need to do is just type /reload UI, and that's going to refresh all the add-ons that you currently have. And then we'll go check and see if it's gone. Yep, it's gone. So that's how you kind of clear out the add-ons in your game while you're doing it. So you can do it in and outside of the game. Don't feel like you have to close everything down and do it that way. So really what I'm going to do is go through each of these that I'm not using, that I don't think is functioning well, because I want my game to run as smooth as possible. Now there's a couple other things you can do outside of the game to increase performance and get ready for this patch. Let me show you those. Another helpful tip is to update your drivers. If you're using the NVIDIA GeForce Experience, it has an easy driver check for update system right here, as you can find. If you're using ATI or another NVIDIA client that you might have a little trouble with, go to their web browser, just Google whatever NVIDIA, and they have an auto detection system, and search for the latest drivers, because that will increase performance. I know this seems like basic stuff, but really you want to play the game and not have any bugs or excuses that you can't play. So make sure you check for your updates, whether it's your video card, your Windows system, or Mac, or whatever, and then make sure that your antivirus is up to date. Everything is good to go. That way you don't have any interruptions in your gameplay. So this is just your normal Windows update. I'm good to go. So I'm ready for that patch in January. Alright, now we get to fun stuff in game, which is basically preparing for gear and all that sort of stuff and supplies. You're probably going to need a lot of money and a lot of materials to upgrade stuff. But first I want to talk about gear specifically. The meta has changed in this game, meaning Ultimate is really going to change fundamentally. How you earn it, how it's used. So some of the sets that we had thought in the past maybe weren't that advantageous are going to be awesome now. For instance, Werewolf Hideband. Generate 5 ultimate 1 damage. This effect can only occur once every 5 seconds. So now that we know, nothing's final yet, so trust me, it can change. But now that we know that ultimate is basically like a standard rate and it's not based off of crit, it's going to be much harder to generate ultimate. So some of these things that we know right off the bat might have huge impacts in the game, the farther the game's on. So make sure you stock up on those items that people aren't using that frequently, and have maybe a pack tune, a pack mule like I do here, that just keeps a bunch of crafting stuff. That way, if this comes out and you can't get a hold of these items and they're really valuable now, well, you've already stocked up on them, so you get 1 or 2 sets of them. It's just a gambling game. You never know if this is going to be really good, but Werewolf Hide specifically is one that came to mind. Another one that comes to mind is some of the PvP sets. Now's a really good time to get into PvP, and I'll explain later why. but also get some of these sets that are very, very rare because, you know, they may go away, they may get upgraded, they may change, we don't know. So spend some time getting those rare, unique sets that you can. And lastly, you gotta stock up on mats. Get your Kudas, get your tempering alloys, get your rosin, and especially the Drew wax. I don't even think I have any because I always use it. So as far as getting mats goes, there's a couple different ways to do it. Obviously you can go farm them, so you smelt ore or, you know, void bloom, deconstruct it. You can always buy it. Right now is a really good time to buy, right before a patch comes out, because people have their gear upgraded. When you want to sell is when a patch comes out and then the demand is super high and you can sell it for 500, 600 more than you bought it. So I belong to a good trading guild, so I hit the guild store and I go to Elder Scrolls Exchange. It's a really good trading guild, but you can have access to this trading guild by going to Ralka and Aldemary faction. Or you can go to your normal store. Your biggest town in the area is usually going to have a good trader. And then what you want to do is go to crafting, and clothing is probably the most valuable right now. I think it's resin, yep. So go to crafting, clothing, resin, legendary. Now you can either buy these for 2,400 or sit outside in town and say buying Drew Axe for 2,200 or whatever, and try to get as many as you can, because you can flip it easily once this patch hits live. And now everyone wants to upgrade their gear. So that's really a suggestion that I have, is either farm these mats, buy them, or do anything you can to get a hold of a bunch of them, because some of these new sets, or these old sets that we didn't think were valuable, will be valuable, trust me. My main Deltia, and I want to talk about skills and how important they're going to be in the future. I've spent a lot of time getting a lot of skill points. I think I'm up to 281 on my main Deltia, and I've morphed all these class skill lines and almost got them maxed out. A couple ones I haven't, but they're almost at rank 4, they're maxed. And so what I think is going to really be important is leveling these skill lines, number one, making sure you have the passes, but also getting each skill to the morph rank. So for instance, if I go here, let's just buy trapping webs or bone shield. I've only have bone shield 2. Now I don't have enough to buy the rank because I need to rank it up some more. What I'm trying to tell you here is that this ability, some of these that we've never used before might be super important in the future. As synergies have changed, as ultimates have changed, we don't know what's going to be essentially really valuable because the game flipped on its head. So what I'm telling you is to do two things. One, get as much skill points as you can. Two, is level up skills that you never thought you would use in the past. Now, you can always respec and get those skill points back, and those are going to be really cheap once this 1.6 hits. So what I'm going to do is spend some time, Bone Shield, these rare abilities that I don't even, Trap Beast, I've never even used that. Some of these rare ones that I don't even think are that valuable. And especially all the armor lines. Armor's going through a big change, so the new meta for endgame might be 5 light, 2 heavy, might be 2 heavy, 5 medium, we don't know. So make sure that you have these skill lines maxed out. Now, Deltia, how do you get so much skill points? Good question. There's a lot of ways to find out. So if you're in the veteran ranked area, you get this little tab called Cadwell's Almanac. And it basically tells you where to go through silver and gold, and tells you which area, so Davin's Watch. So let's say I was starting out and I wanted to go to Davin's Watch. So it's here, Stone Falls. And then this is the area I need to complete in Davin's Watch. It's whited out on my screen, so that means it's done. But if it's on yours, it'll be black, and you haven't done it yet. Now, why am I telling you this? Because these skill lines specifically, and these Cadwells, silver and gold, will award skill points. So if you haven't done it yet, and you've already experienced the story, but just don't want to complete it, do it, because it'll add a lot of skill points to your repertoire. Another thing in the journal that's really helpful is going to your achievements, Sky Shards. I have every Sky Shard in the game. Now this takes a long time to get, but you really need to work on it, especially now if you're looking ahead to the next patch. You're going to need a lot of skill points we didn't even think were going to be possible. So this tells you where to get them at. There's a million different guides on how to get the Sky Shards, and there's a really helpful add-on. Now, if you want to, keep doing your Sky Shard hunting and find them naturally, great. But if you don't, like me, and you want to be a mid-maxer, Sky Shards. This is by Garkin, really good add-on that shows you all the sky shirts in and around your area. So I have it turned off. Why? I have them all. But that's something you want to do and look at getting later on. A couple other things to get extra skill points that people don't think about is in public dungeons you have something called group challenges. Each of these reward 1 skill point. So what this means is if you go to any area in the game, essentially it's going to have one big area here that looks a little different. So it's a big cave that looks a little different. Inside of each of these is going to have one group challenge, like a major boss you're supposed to beat with 2 people. Every area has this. So you're looking at, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's basically 15 skill points right there. You got some Kragor and stuff too. They're going to have delves and trials you can experience in quests. There's more skill points. And then lastly is Cyrodiil. This has, 15 skill points at least, and here going traveling around and getting all those. So if you start doing the math and you complete some quests, you do the main story, it starts to add up, and that's going to be really good. Another thing that I'm trying to do is offload my crafting. Right now Deltia is crafting my metalworking, and that's 9 skill points. He's not even doing the extracting, metallurgy, or research stuff. So if I did that, you're looking at 15 skill points tied up in crafting. So I'm trying to level up an alt just to do my crafting so I can get more and more skill points for what I want. That's 9. That could help out a lot later on. So really this is kind of how you can optimize your skill points. You can maybe offload some, get some new skill points, spend the time now to get that done. Maybe even those achievements that you haven't gone in the past that you just didn't want to do and you want to go get them now. Now's the time to do it before 1.6 launches. Something else that's going to be vastly important is your ranks. Ranks in certain guilds, ranks in alliance, ranks in whatever. So alliance rank, I don't PvP much in this game, you probably all know that, but I need to get this to at least 6. At least 6, because I'm missing out on some key abilities. Caltrops is a really huge one, barriers, some passives, but also in ESO Live they announced a bunch of new abilities, I think 4 for the alliance skill tree. Now, I don't know what level they'll be. They may be 8, they may be 10, for all I know. I don't know. But I want to be prepared with as much alliance rank as I can possibly get, so I can take advantage of these new skill points. So right now, PvP is a little bit harder to obtain AP, which is needed to increase your skill line, but I suggest getting in a well-formed group. That's the best that I've done. I can't solo YOLO, do my own thing anymore and be successful. I really need a strong team around me. So it's not really my style, but I need to do it because I need to get these skill points. So I'm going to be in a lot of PvP right now because I want to make sure that I can get these really cool skills, especially Razor Caltrops. This thing is awesome for a tank and a great stamina dump. Another really couple important ones. The number 1 is Undaunted. Now I have Undaunted 9. So currently there's 2 passes that are really important: Undaunted Command, Undaunted Metal. And now, you'll notice there's nothing for Undaunted 10. We've asked the developers that are coming out for something Undaunted 10. They haven't said, so I just have to assume something's coming from Undaunted 10. So keep on doing the dailies and achievements. That's how you rank this up. Each daily, a gold key I think is worth 20, a silver key is worth 15. I could be wrong, I have a whole separate guide on this. So you're going to get some every day by doing that, and also you can do some dungeon achievements too. If you go to veteran dungeons, these also reward points. So even just these killing these little guys, 10 points here, 10 points there, it adds up. So make sure that, I still need to get the City of Ash stuff done. So make sure you're getting those done because you want to be prepared for when this comes out. So once again, even the Fighters Guild you could level up, but really I'm talking about the Alliance, and I'm talking about the Undaunted. So we never know what's going to happen with those skill lines, and we want to be prepared. I can't stress enough how important it is for us, the community, to get on and test Elder Scrolls 1.6 in January. Now, I know not everyone has infinite time. We're unpaid testers and so on. But if we want this to succeed and this game to succeed, we really need to put in a little bit of time, anything extra we can. I plan on living on the PTS, updating my guides and whatnot, and giving Zoss the information they need to change the system the way we want it. They've done a great job in showing that they will change this game around what we want them to. We just got to give them the input, whether it's the official Elder Scrolls forum, my site, Tamriel Foundry, Tales of Tamriel, it doesn't matter. Let's give them the information. So here's how you get on the PTS in a real simple way. So the public test server is pretty easy to get on. First, you might have already activated it. So look on your left-hand column under Games. You'll notice the red box, the Elder Scrolls Online PTS. That's if you already enabled it. If you haven't, go to the top right section and click on that orange box, which is Settings. It'll take you to the next screen here. Now when you get to this screen, scroll down and hit Show Public Test Server, Public Test Environment, and hit Apply. That's all you really need to do to bring it on your left in this screen. Now it's back on left, so instead of the top, you want to click the bottom one and highlight it white. Then it'll start uploading and downloading the new PTS client. And that's it. So that's the top 5 things to do before getting ready for the champion system. What do you guys think? Leave me a comment. What else are you doing? I want to know. Share it with the community on my site, deltiasgaming.com, at deltiasgaming on Twitter, or leave me a comment in my YouTube channel. And thanks for watching as always.